So hi, I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for movies in Sweden.
Pleasure. Nice. I'll repeat. Nice to meet you, Jonathan. Round two.
Thank, thank you. Yeah, around it. So I've followed your career for many years and really loved the shows that you produced over at HBO back in the days. Um, so I was wondering, taking that step as like the head of drama and becoming the CEO of the company you're running now, uh, producing in a different kind of way. How has that transition been for you, and was it like you were expecting it to be? The morning show being kind of like the centerpiece of building the company that you're now running.
Thank you, Jonathan. It's been, I came up as a producer first. I worked as a film producer before going to HBO. And so HBO was this transformative experience, getting to work with some of the most amazing creators in a period where television was rapidly changing, and we were really at the forefront of that change, and film and television talent merging. And so when in forming Media Res and launching it and starting it, now doing it for a few years, it felt like a very natural place for me to be, which is kind of marrying kind of my early producerial life with the network and studio experience that I had at HBO. And part of the logic of Media Res was and remains, there were a few companies that really knew. HBO knew how to make shows like that, but very few suppliers did. And so I thought it'd be great for networks to have a company they could rely on to do that, sort of premium quality work, but also for top tier talent, and where you could be ambitious, irresponsibly ambitious and innovative. And that's what I'm drawn to. That's what the people who work at the company are drawn to, and finding a way to bridge a connection between ambitious talent and networks who are looking for cutting edge important shows.
Yeah, and from what I've understood, that you kind of met Reese Witherspoon back during the Big Little Lies era over at HBO, and formed a bond. And was it always did you always know who you wanted to be in the lead roles of the morning show? Because now afterwards, it seems like there couldn't have been any other people playing those parts of that we have on the show now.
Jonathan, in all seriousness, this never happens in life. Once in a while, it does. The only two actresses I approached were Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston, for real. And so they were the only two considered. And so yeah, for sure. And for both of them, it was kind of, with Jen at the time, I knew Jen as well socially. She had wanted to return to television and stretch herself and do something she hadn't done before. And so the opportunity to work with her in any capacity, but particularly as she was looking to show new flavors, was just sort of undeniable and special. And um, and for Reese too, this is a very different role than she had done in Big Little Lies. And the role bridges is both a kind of classic Reese Witherspoon character. That said, the show though explores all these themes and ideas that the businesswoman that Reese is fascinated and compelled by, right? And so for her, she gets to kind of explore both sides of herself within the show, which is why I think all three of us love working on it so much, because yes, it tackles all these giant issues of our time, but then we're Hollywood creatures, and so any behind the scenes show is inherently a lot about what we deal with here in Hollywood. And so for I think all three of us, we get to explore a lot of things that we experience on a day-to-day level. And yeah, no, I don't think there's any other two actors in the world. Last thing I'll say about it, they were also, we've always wanted, and to this season even more so, the idea was in the way that audiences watch their beloved newscasters and think they know them. For Reese and Jen, the intention was also the public believes they know them as their friends, as their mothers, as their sisters, right? And so it was essential to cast people like that, so that rather than the audience see, we didn't want them to experience Bradley Jackson and Alex Levy as characters. We wanted instantly for people to connect to those characters as people they think they know already. Obviously, these are created characters that both women have brilliantly rendered, but we wanted to collapse the distance between the audience and the two of them. And I don't think there are any other actors in the world who could have done it the way they have.
Thanks a lot for your time, and best of luck with the premiere now. I'm sure it will go great.
Thank you, Jonathan. Really appreciate your questions.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Bloomberg, writing for movies in Sweden.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing great, especially now when I get to speak with you, of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I actually I had a deep impact on VHS growing up, so I saw that like so many times.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, and I'm also a huge fan of the Leftovers, and that series finale is one of the best series finales ever, in my opinion. So
thank you.
Thanks for that too.
Thank you. It was a life-changing experience for me, that whole series, and working with Damon Lindelof was just killer.
Yeah, it's great. But I've obviously also watched the morning show and the 3 seasons now. I haven't watched the finale because I want to watch that with everyone else. And I know you directed that, so don't spoil me. But from what I've seen so far, this season is just as good as the last 2, and congratulations on getting the renewal on the season as well. So now when we're kind of the second season ended during like the emergence of COVID, and now we're a couple of years away from that, and I was wanted to know how you kind of approached, because you don't do this new season linear, and I was wondering how you were thinking about doing that, since so much time have passed, but that was where we left it off. But you chose to jump forward a bit. So how were those discussions when you planned this season?
Yeah, I think Charlotte Stout, our show running writer, who came in with really fresh eyes, and wonderful working with her and her incredible writers, and felt it was important to move away from the pandemic. And the first season we worked and just we dealt with the Me Too movement. Second season was the pandemic, and now we just wanted to move on. And will we ever get back to before times? And the answer is no, we'll never get back to where we were. So we wanted everybody to sort of be floating around like, where do I belong? Looking for home. And so we moved past the Mitch story, but the ghost is in the building, and we pivoted away from sexual misconduct. But what we really wanted to tackle this season was women's autonomy and reproductive rights and abortion rights. And one of our main themes that we really wanted to deal with was the truth and the lies we tell ourselves and each other, and how that relates to our new stories this season, and how it's such a character-driven show. So it's all very intertwined, and it was important to, I think, really go there and deal with the truth. I don't know how many episodes you've seen, but you can see that a lot of our characters have a lot of secrets.
Yeah, as do we all, I suppose.
Yeah.
But
that was one of the big themes. I know we're talking about the morning show, but that was one of the big themes in The Leftovers. The lies, Nora would tell herself.
Exactly. Yeah. So thanks a lot for taking your time to speak with me today, and best of luck with the premiere now. And I'll definitely be keep on watching on the next season as well. So maybe we get to speak then.
Hope you like the finale.
I sure I will.